I wanted to do a quick video just about how I save money living a more minimalist lifestyle. I've never really branded myself as being a minimalist. I think it sounds kind of cheesy almost, but a lot of us are familiar with the whole minimalism kind of movement that has become very trendy over the last couple of years. My hope is that people would adopt this lifestyle sort of more organically by learning tips and tricks from other people who just sort of live that way. It's much more fulfilling when you're doing it from the inside and for the right reasons than doing it following what other people are doing or trying to have a certain minimalist aesthetic. Let's get into the reasons why I save money living a minimalist lifestyle. So the first thing I do that saves me money, I don't constantly shop. Just by nature, I don't like having a lot of clutter around my house. I like when my house is very clean and very free of extra stuff. It makes it so much easier to clean my house, and I really like when I look around my house and see nice, clean, clear counters with not a bunch of stuff sitting on them. I'm sure you've probably experienced where you've opened up a drawer or even opened up your closet and you had so much stuff in there it just overwhelmed you, and it actually does increase your stress level. Whether people realize it or not, visual clutter also causes stress at a subconscious level because your brain is always having to process everything that's around. It's very difficult for you to be at peace and feel calm when you have all this stuff around you. It's very important, I find, to make sure that everything that's in my surroundings is stuff that I either really like or stuff I actually use. I don't consider myself an extreme minimalist at all. I'm more of a domestic minimalist, meaning I like to have the comforts and the beauty of a typical home with all of the stuff that you would expect to find in a home, but not too much of that stuff. So obviously I save a lot of money because I'm not constantly going out buying new stuff. I only buy what I need. I don't buy duplicates of the same thing. An example of that would be appliances. I only have a microwave, a toaster, and a NutriBullet. Those are the main appliances that I use. I do also have a slow cooker, but I rarely ever use it. I also don't invest in a whole bunch of trendy fashion items or a whole bunch of home decor. So again, when it comes to my wardrobe, I'm kind of a creature of habit. I have the things that I really like, and those are the things that I tend to wear over and over, and I don't really stray very far from them. I've even tried in the past replacing some of my items that I had around the house, replacing some of my clothing items, thinking for some reason I wanted to try a new look or I wanted to try wearing something different, and inevitably, I revert back to wearing exactly the same thing I was wearing before. You just have those favorite pieces in your wardrobe. It doesn't matter whether you have 10 or 20 sweatshirts, you're always going to revert back to the same 1 or 2 or 3 sweatshirts. That's just human nature, that's just how we are. You don't need a million of the same thing. If you have 1 or 2 of a certain article that you like and you use consistently, that will save you so much money. I actually don't like the look of a whole bunch of stuff on my counters, like I said. Even coffee tables and end tables and things like that, I prefer just 1 or 2 things that are very simple and either something I kind of already use or something that's a little bit meaningful for me versus having a whole bunch of little trinkets and switching things out and putting up new decorations. I have moved numerous times in my life, and I've pretty much always moved myself. I didn't have other people to rely on. I didn't hire a moving company. I did it pretty much all on my own every time I moved. And the more stuff you have, the more you have to haul with you. It's partly that I don't like having a bunch of stuff around, but also that I don't like being responsible for all of that stuff. If you look around my house, you will see a lot of grays, a lot of neutrals, a lot of white, little pops of like light blue, pastel purple, maybe a little bit of turquoise here and there. But otherwise, everything is pretty much gray, and I really like gray. It's kind of like the book 50 Shades of Grey. My house is 50 Shades of Grey. I have 2 vases with flowers. One of them is a really nice white floral vase that I got from Marshall's, I think like 4 years ago. And the other one is a little mirrored vase that has some really beautiful hydrangeas in it. I also keep marble coasters in my living room because those are things we use on a nightly basis. Literally, we have tea every single night, and I really like the gray and white marble. I also have an essential oil diffuser, which I purchased because I really like the feeling that I get when I hear just a little bit of water sort of gently bubbling in the background. I find it very relaxing and very calming and soothing. There's been lots of studies done talking about the benefits of having running water in your home. It helps relieve a little bit of stress depending on the types of oils that you use, and it also looks really beautiful lit up, especially in the evening. So again, that's one of those items that does sort of twofold. It's very functional, but it also looks really nice. Another way that I save money living a minimalist lifestyle is by making my own coffee. Probably my main reason for not going through the drive-thru is that it is horrible for the environment. I'm a huge advocate of reducing plastic waste and reducing waste in general. And I recognize that there's a lot of areas of our life that we can't control the amount of plastic we're accumulating, but going through the drive-thru is a no-brainer. I really like making my own coffee at home. So what I did about a year and a half ago, I invested in a really nice coffee tumbler. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. It's a beautiful gold color, so it's a neutral, but it's also very pretty. And to be honest, I prefer my own coffee that I make with my own Keurig machine at home way more than I like the taste of any kind of drive-through coffee. I would way rather spend about 10 or 20 cents per cup than $5 or even $2 on a cup of coffee. This coffee mug was a little bit pricey. I think it cost me $45, but it's paid for itself many, many times over already, and I just couldn't imagine not using it. Another way that I save money as a minimalist is I don't have TV. I do have a TV, but we don't subscribe to any kind of a cable or satellite company. We just have the internet. It's just much easier. It's so much less to have to think about. I'm not paying 2 different bills every month, but also the internet kind of fulfills all of our needs. We use Netflix if we want to watch a movie or a TV show. I can keep up with the news and I can watch videos and shows that really speak to me and things I really enjoy without having to have that cable subscription. I also really like the minimal look in my living room. I'm really happy that I don't have a whole bunch of extra boxes and cords laying around. And lastly, one of the biggest ways I save money as a minimalist is through my diet and the things that I eat and drink. We don't drink alcohol. It's just not part of our lifestyle. I'm not the type of person who's going to go and buy any sort of a specialty drink like we talked about with the coffees. Water is free, and making a cup of tea with a tea press is extremely cheap and so satisfying, and also has a lot of health benefits. When it comes to all areas of my life, if you haven't noticed a trend, I keep things very simple and I kind of have my go-to items and I just keep going back, and that's the same with food. I know exactly which items I like to eat, and I continually keep my fridge stocked with those items, and I don't venture too far outside of that. I feed myself and my 2 kids actually for a very small amount every month. So just one last word before I wrap up this video. I just want to say that being a minimalist, I'm probably making it sound incredibly boring. It's actually amazing, because what you tend to do is you end up having stuff around you that you really, really love, and you don't clutter yourself up with all this extra jazz you don't need. So being a minimalist isn't about not having stuff, it's about having only stuff that you really, really love. I hope that if you haven't looked at decluttering your life a little bit and simplifying your life, that you will take that first step and start asking yourself, what stuff do I really need here and what stuff can I live without? Because I promise it is so fulfilling when you just clear your life of all the clutter and only do things that you love and only buy things that you love. And closely tied into that is social media. I'm going to be doing a video about social media pretty soon about how I kind of declutter technically all of that extra stuff from my life to reduce my stress level. If any of you struggle with anxiety like I do, trust me, this is such a helpful thing, and I have gotten so much inner peace from it, and so stay tuned for that. As always, if you like this video, please give it a like, and I would be really honored if you would subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.